everyone, it's James here from Dark Arts Lockpicking. Hope you're doing well. Picking lots, doing some hacking, but as always, keeping it bloody legal. And it's bloody cold here. It's miserable. So Blaze and I are heading down to Melbourne to go ice skating since it's really cold. Taught the kids ice skating. There's a little pop-up rink that pops up here in Ballarat every winter for the Ballarat Winter Festival. So I took the kids ice skating yesterday. The funniest one was my son. He's like, I've got this, you know, after the couple goes around onto the rail. He's like, I've got this, and as he said that, he went straight on his back. Didn't hurt himself, but just his pride. I didn't fall. Yeah, it's been years. I mean, I've only ever been ice skating once before. That was when I was like my middle daughter's age, about 10, 9, 10, something like that. And first watched the Mighty Ducks. And then we went over to Bendigo, because Bendigo used to have an ice skating rink, and went skating there. And first time, like, you know, I was brought up around rollerblading. I used to rollerblade as a kid. That age, I'm like, you know what? I've got this on the ice. It's no different. And I went straight into the middle and fell on my butt. So yeah, but we're going ice skating today, and travelling down to Melbourne because the rink here is that small. It's not funny. By the time you pick up any speed, you're already at the other end. And the ice isn't the best, it's like, ugh. So, anyway, we're heading down to Melbourne. But, one of the things I like to do while I'm down in Melbourne, other than shopping and having other fun, is using this here. This is called a Pwnagotchi. So what this does is, this is made from a Raspberry Pi and a little screen board here. And back in the 90s, you remember we had things called Tamagotchis. If you recall, you know, everyone had a Tamagotchi. I was even cool, I had a Digimon, which used to battle and stuff like that. But Tamagotchis were the in thing, the little creatures you look after, you feed, you clean up their poo. Really thinking back on it, it was a waste of our time and effort. But because it wouldn't last any more than 10 days. But anyway, this is called a Pwnagotchi, and it's similar in a way, but to feed this, you let it run and it eats Wi-Fi handshakes. So every time a device connects to the internet, so let's say my phone, which I'm recording on here, get home, it connects to the internet here. It does what's called a two-way handshake, where it's pretty much saying, hello, I'm this device. And the Wi-Fi's like, okay, this device, what's the password? And my phone's like, this is the password here. And the Wi-Fi's like, okay, I know you. Hello, how are you? Welcome. Not really how it goes, but, you know. And what this does is this captures that handshake. And if it gets bored, it's not picking any up, it will deauth devices from the Wi-Fi's around and make them reconnect again, so it can take that handshake. You can stop it from doing that. You can program it to do a few other bits and pieces, like locations. You can ping the locations. You can do like tracking on it. There's quite a few little bits and pieces you can actually do with the Pwnagotchi. But whenever I'm down in Melbourne, I just like to let this thing run. I just plug it into a USB power pack. And because you got up the top here, USB power pack, and just let it run and do its thing. And what it does is it captures Wi-Fi handshakes. Now, when you get back, or when you get around to using it, what you do is you hook this up to your laptop, and then you can take the captured handshakes off. And then what can you do with the handshakes? Well, the handshakes, you can actually look at them, you can study them, but what it is the handshake contains the password for the Wi-Fi. So let's say, for example, my password for my Wi-Fi here at home is 12345. It ain't a secure password, we all know that. But let's say that this captures that handshake. Now what I can do is take that handshake off this device onto my laptop. I can then use a program such as Hashcat as an example of one, and converts the file to a hashcat file using an online converter. And then I can run hashcat and use that to crack the password for the Wi-Fi. So pretty much all this is like a little device that captures Wi-Fi, and then, or Wi-Fi handshakes, and then you literally just use it to crack Wi-Fi passwords. So it eats them. It can do other bits and pieces. I can't remember off the top of my head everything I've got this one set up for. But I'm pretty sure it pings when it takes a Wi-Fi handshake. It also, they've got this one set up to take the location, so the longitude and latitude of it. And I've got it set up to do a couple of bits and pieces. But I have to look in because it's been a little while since I've used it, because I don't like to use it around town. I mainly use it down in Melbourne, as I said. But Pwnagotchis are a lot of fun. They're a great little tool for hackers to play around with. It's a great little one to learn about Wi-Fi handshakes and how you can actually use programs such as hashcat. There is also a few others that are around there. John the Ripper's another one, where you can actually crack Wi-Fi handshakes or Wi-Fi passwords and stuff like that, using brute force attacks or catalogs of going through. Because, I mean, yep, so it captures a Wi-Fi handshake. Then what it does is your computer goes through and you can actually download. I downloaded one which was like 3 gig, 5 gig, something like that. There's massive amounts of files out there with all handshakes or all passwords that have been collected over the years. So whenever there's been, there was one that was released, there was a shite load of passwords that was released all through a website, and someone stole all the passwords that were used, and all that information was then taken and put out there as a file you can download. So you can download files of passwords. You can't see, I mean, yeah, you can go through and read all the passwords, but for example, we take the handshake, we type it in with all the lines of code into hashcat, and then we want to run, let's say it's called Doubt's password collection. So then we run it through the file Doubt's password collection. And what it does is it takes every single password that's in there in an order, because I mean every passwords we all use are very much easy to guess in a way, because we've all been brought up to follow this order of how you type in password. Capital letter at the beginning, 8 letters, 2 numbers or a number, and a symbol at the end. So it's kind of predictable in a way, passwords, the way that we all formulate them. So it will go through and it will run it against every password that's in that file and go, right, this one looks the same. This one looks, okay, these 2 passwords or handshakes match. Like the password in the handshake, these 2 match. So this is the password for this device here. So that's kind of how it works. Now, it can take, if you're literally running hashcat and the password's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it'll literally take like a couple of seconds to crack it. But most intricate passwords, they're going to take anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of days to a couple of weeks. Even up towards of over a month. One of mine, it said till next century that I was going against. So, it's all takes time to crack the passwords, but Pwnagotchis, they're a lot of fun. There's a lot of videos out there on how these work and in more detail. I just want to do a quick one about these and tell you, because I'm just heading off to Melbourne to use it when we're driving around and stuff like that. So, but yeah, this one says so far it's kicked 7 stations, made 17 new friends, and got 4 handshakes. So you can see who friends are and stuff like that, and they talk to devices. But as I say, this will literally just sniff. It sniffs around and tries to, intercept that signal that's going through. It lets it go through, but copies that signal that gets sent across. But as I said, if it gets bored, if it doesn't pick anything up, and the face on it, it changes and does all different phases and stuff like that. They've got a bit of a character in mind of their own, in a way. Some of the stuff they say is kind of funny. But, you know, it's... If they get bored and stuff like that, they will de-authenticate. So they will send a disconnect message to a device to disconnect it from the Wi-Fi, so that then it will reconnect and this can pick up the signal. But you can stop that from happening if you want, because you don't want to disconnect the wrong device from Wi-Fi. But this is all for learning about handshakes. You can run it through Wireshark and have a look at the handshakes and the information. You can learn quite a lot about protocols and stuff like that with using one of these devices. So anyway, I'm heading off to Melbourne. Might do some videos of the ice skating and take some photos and put them up on the Instagram and stuff like that while we're down there. And anything else that I see when I'm down in Melbourne I find interesting to do with physical cybersecurity. But anyway, as always, keep it illegal, stay safe, hack the planet, since that's what this one likes to say quite a bit. Yeah, check out Pwnagotchis. I'll do a more in detail video on these devices at a later stage. I just wanted to tell you about it quickly. And yeah, till next time, hit the thumbs up, notification bell, make sure you're subscribed, because the more we grow, the more we get out there, the more we can give back to you. And until next time, cheers guys.